what sort of plan do you have in effect to when we get back at it and back to it again? You know, even at the arenas, are you going to have what we call urinal spacing where there's one seat apart and concessions and things like that? What sort of examples are you setting?
We're trying to figure that out right now.
Right.
It really depends on how we can keep the place clean. And here, it sounds a little crazy, but we're talking about doing it like a haunted house. You know, like you go into a haunted house and there's like a line to get in, and you have your spacing automatically unless you're really close to somebody, and you're not allowed to touch anything. So we're talking about like scheduling when somebody can park, right? Give them an assigned parking spot, no matter who it is, right? Assigned parking spot, give you a time, have someone, you know, give you a path to guide you to where you need to go, check into the arena, and then have them take you to your seat. But the challenging part and the really interesting part is going to be how you figure out who co-quarantine, right? Because it's not just about everybody being 6 feet apart. So if you have 3 kids, your wife, your 3 kids, and maybe, you know, grandma and grandpa stayed with you, that's 7 people that can sit together, right? And then maybe how do we expand that co-quarantine? Is there somebody else that you're close enough with that you trust them, that you're willing to sit behind them or in front of them? How do we match those people up safely, and how do we group them together safely? So that allows us to have more and more groups of people rather than just one-offs. And those are the types of things we're thinking about. And then there's things like how do you reduce the touch points, like, you know, Alexa, Google Home type things, so you can talk to things, you know? So if you're at the urinal and you're just going to say, okay, urinal, flush.
Oh, that's crazy.
I'm not going to want to touch that handle, right? Or maybe there's just the visual thing, but all those types of things we're looking at.
That's great. Now, what is your gut instinct, Mark? When does the NBA come back? I know there's no official thing. Do you feel like you have, as you said, I've heard you say you want a few warm-up games and then the postseason. Do you see it happening in the next couple months? What's your gut instinct telling you?
I'm just guessing. My gut says we do. It's going to come down to testing, like I said, but I think the science is going to be there. Look, I'm an optimist. I'm a believer in American exceptionalism. I think we got great scientists, and everything I read says we're getting closer and closer to a vaccine and therapies. So I think it happens. No fans. And I think it's a Hotel California type deal where you check in and never leave. And so we'll do it in like a big hotel and set it all up. So people come in, they get tested. We make sure they're safe. We make sure everything's just sparkling clean. And, you know, we keep them there and play the games and go from there. And, you know, for most players, you know, at the beginning, there'll be 30 teams. And then once the playoffs start, it'll be smaller and smaller and smaller. So it's not going to be that big an imposition. So I think it happens. And then, you know, part and parcel to that is we won't start the season until December, probably Christmas Day.
Yeah. Now, listen, any team will take a championship, but whoever wins this year, do you think there'll be that asterisk like, oh, it was that season?
No. I mean, 1999, when 98, 99, when the Spurs won, there was no asterisk. I mean, for the first 3 years, people talked about it all the time, but then everybody forgot about it, right? You know, it's just, nah, man, when you have that ring on your finger, see that guy back there?
I see it. Your buddy back there.
He needs a friend. And not going to be, you know, there's no asterisk on it, right? There's going to be no asterisk on that guy.